when I go live, simply because they're not in control of nothing. Here we are, living in America, and goddamn, say Mississippi, goddamn, they've been controlling the water. They've been controlling the air. What happened in 2025 when we woke up and figured out that we somehow are just what? Sustaining everyone else. And we are living in this melting pot. And what is a melting pot? And people think, oh, girl, you're crazy. Maybe I am. I think we all have a bit of this craziness. But understand me when I say failure's never been an option. But why is it that so many children who look like us are in the juvenile halls? And I do mean the darker ones, the lighter skinned ones, the lighter shade ones. Well, they're not like us. I thought you knew when Kendrick said it. They not like us. They not like us. No, because they've always had a benefit. Oh, it's my grandbaby. Hello, Naga. Oh, that says Daddy's over there looking at you. My son's calling his daughter. I have to get up and say hello. Hello. You're having a picnic today? How awesome. Awesome. We have some broccoli and some... Oh, that's awesome. What are you having? You never had a picnic. Well, now your mommy's taking you on one. That's great. That's awesome. And enjoy your day. Never had a picnic in my life. She's only 4 years old. What is... She said she never had a picnic in her life. Okay. She's 4 years old. But now she understands. And our children are so bright now. They're truly gifted. She said she never had a picnic in her life. Oh, Lord. So I have a 4-year-old granddaughter. That was my son. You knew my keys? No. And I have a 41-year-old. Yes, I do. And I have a 39-year-old. I do. And then I have a 27-year-old. And I have my tribe with me. And here we are living in America. And we just didn't really understand that we're bringing it to the table. Because truly we are. So many people don't understand. Every one of our children are generating a certain level of money, that fiat shit, to the table. And all the children are generating this revenue to the state. Well, what is local control? And so many people don't understand. Girl, what are you talking about? Girl, get out of here with that shit. I don't do politics. I'm saying politics. No, boo. Is you paying them taxes every year? Every April, they levy those taxes. You say, oh, girl, I'm so glad I got my taxes paid. And I'm saying, no, you're paying for public services. And it's unfortunate that we don't understand. We get what we pay for. Now, we may be paying for it, and then we got, I'm living my best life, ain't got time to deal with you niggas. And we got that going on. And then when you listen to them songs, I swear to God, I know I was partying to them. But the songs and the message and the music was disgusting. And it just was. And, when I think about R. Kelly, he had some positive messages for us. That's why he's in the penitentiary. Y'all don't understand now. I mean, he had something called child support. And they wanted to know exactly how much money he was making, and his money was not being brought in. The revenue was overseas like white people have it, boo. And he was just making some money. They want to know all that. He said, no, I'm not telling you shit. I don't have to tell you nothing. Other people are not telling you nothing, so you ain't getting my information. When you get it's like Donald. Donald said, when you start enforcing the rules for everyone, then enforce the rules on me. That's what he said. And I thought that shit was hilarious. So you have to understand, we're living in hilarious days. They're just truly hilarious. And, people get pissed off at me because I talk about what my three sons did. My oldest son, he was 41, the one that you see. He was in the gifted and gate class. And what is that? It was, they assessed them and they put them in the classroom for gifted and gate. And they have certain levels in public education for all children. And then there are people that are just in the general population. Well, hey, hello, and welcome. And those are people that are in the, and just in the regular school. Now, in the regular school, you could not be making it, and that's just unfortunate. But you ain't gonna get no services because your mamas think that you don't need to be qualified as special ed. But those white women, excuse me, but they get those services. You understand what I'm saying? Because their children might be in the Asperger syndrome or have a autism. Well, my son, I was blessed because he just had epilepsy. And hello, and where is epilepsy coming from? Well, I just got a diagnosis from my doctor. I'm so hilarious. I'm looking for a workers' compensation attorney, one combined with a medical malpractice, because Kaiser was my treating physician, and they diagnosed me with this thing called fibromyalgia, which doesn't exist. And then I just have a good doctor right now. And she said, well, honey, I got some bad news for you. I said, well, what is the bad news? She said, you have rheumatoid arthritis. But, I always thought I did. I just never was treated for that. They gave me Motrin. They were giving me so much Norco in California. But, when people are all complicit in this thing we call criminal activity, I understand how it goes now. Because, why? Simply, you don't understand. We're living in America, and don't you see, Donald? Every day it's a new criminal activity. And I'm saying, well, Mississippi, goddamn, what about those people up there, those children up there in Michigan who had the bad water? But it affected more than that, that water. I was born in the USA. Born in the USA. But I was really born in Mississippi. Columbus, Mississippi, and I am 67 years old. That's right. And, and tragedy might as well be my middle name. Oh, you in Memphis. I don't really travel anymore. I'm right now living in Viva Las Vegas, and I'm understanding the gamesmanship that's happening here. But, when everybody is the harvest, well, this is how we're empowered. In 2025, hell, I can come sit on my patio and have a conversation with you. And, there's another app called Podbeam. I use it. And Podbeam allows you to sit in a room, wherever you please, and have conversations. And everybody can just, pick up the little phone. It's a little phone on the thing. And you just talk. And then you can just share in a room. Because communication is all we have. It's the only gift that the universe has blessed you with. And we're all blessed with this thing, but when you refuse to use it, oh, what happened? I don't know. A narrow bridge in 1940. I have no idea what happened in Tacoma. I am 67. I'm not 68 yet. An old woman and 78 years old. Okay, 68. I hit from the back. I don't know. We all need to understand that we're complicit with our behavior. We understand what's right and what's wrong. We know right from wrong. And when you choose wrong, when you know right, well, there's a consequence to that. You never know when the consequence is coming, but it is coming. And that's why I'll say that, what's been going on here in Nevada for so long is flexibility. And you don't understand that in the red states, because of states' rights, and because we live under this thing called republics, and y'all don't even know what a democracy is all about. But hell, why would you know? If you didn't grow up in that kind of situation, you just wouldn't know. And that's just real. But, my dad was in the Air Force, and my mother did whatever it took to make sure that she Oh no, I don't date anymore. I had a husband, but I'm going to tell you, the universe has made it so. I had three baby daddies, and people like to talk about, oh, look, she had three baby daddies. But I'm going to tell you what, the universe then took them and put them on the other side of the realm. So all three have already perished. And that's just real. It doesn't really matter. If you choose to follow, you're following because you hear something that you want to know about. And that's just real. And just know this, I, at the age of 67, have raised my three sons, and none of my sons have ever gotten in any trouble. They understand how to play the game. The game, boo, the game. And, we're living in a very oppressive system. Yes, sir, no, sir, I'm sorry, sir, excuse me, sir. I had a husband. Yeah, he's deceased. And I had two baby daddies. Yeah. And a husband. Whatever. Three baby daddies. And they each chose what? Not to honor the gift that God gave them. And so none of them chose to participate in their son's lives. But I made sure that I gave them the ability to do what? Hey, I know exactly what to use and how to use it. I've chosen not to. That's why I don't date. And I haven't dated for a long time. And I love myself. And that's just real. So let's just talk about what I'm going to talk about today, because this is 2025. And, lions, tigers, and bears, oh my. But when you look like me, you must comply. And I'm saying this compliance thing that they got, it comes from slavery. You do understand that, right? And I've never been a slave. So therefore, I don't know how to do what? Comply. And, out here in this ethos, you could be restricted, your devices can be tampered with, and you don't even understand that you buy something and you never even own it. And I'm saying, I got GTA. At GTA got 5. Well, thank you. I guess that's a compliment. I don't know. But anyways, we got this it's a whole new revelation. The revelations whatever, something would never be televised. And here we are, living in the year of 2025. And I'm saying, and then we've got Donald up there, and we got Melania, and everybody knows what Melania was, because she made it happen for herself. And I'm saying, I saw the pictures. Did you not see well, how could we not see the pictures? They were public. And I'm saying, now we're talking about the Epstein things, but see, these people with this money, they do whatever they choose to do, boo. You don't even understand. And then it's life, liberty. And I'm saying, let's get a clue, because you can only be who you want to be, but you don't know who that might be anyways. And I don't know either. And I always told my children to not hold things. You know what I'm saying? I had three baby daddies. The first one, what can I say? He had so much. But, he was entitled. And his father worked at the prison. His father, yes, know what? You're beautiful to me, and I hit from back, you crazy. Oh, probably I am a little bit crazy. Shit, living in America, who would not be? And what am I supposed to do? Sit here and pretend that I don't see what I see? I saw Ahmaud Arbery's unalivement, Amir Locke's, and all of these, Sandra Bland. And then the black people would take and choose to pick a song and sing about the loss of these young people that are losing their lives. And then what are we doing? The Beatles said it best, probably. What the world? No, that was that woman, wasn't it? Oh, the Beatles had a love song, and so did uh, Whitney. And then but what's going on? That Marvin Gaye did. That was a real song. It was a real eye opener. But if you go back and listen to the old school song, even Sam Cooke's songs, me to be, oh, I don't know what a moderator is, but sure, you could be a moderator. If you want to be a moderator, how do you do to go here and then not there? You go somewhere. I don't know how to do it. I probably should not be doing it when I'm on the live. Hmm. Oh, look, a green screen. I did not know that could happen. Hmm. Oh, look. It said Facebook had a settlement. You know, Facebook did have a settlement for violation of privacy. They certainly did, and then they sent it out. That's a crazy person, and then I could do what I'm gonna be live. But look, this is a big old fat man. Now you think he would have had some shame in that, but he didn't have no shame. And then the way that you educate yourself is to do what? Is to understand that you have to spend time online, and you just do. I don't want to do the green screen. Oh, I have to end it, don't I? I have to go back over here. Not there. Go back up there. And then go all the way to no green screen. And say done. But here I am. And I'm 67 years old. And that's just no lie. And I raised my 3 sons. My oldest one, I wasn't married when I had him. My son's father, he was very intelligent. He followed me from Sacramento uh, to LA. And then I got my own place, and then he kind of moved in. And then I was paying all the rent, and I said, oh, hell no. Mm-hmm. And then what I did was I chose to move back to my mother's when I had the baby. But it was where I was working for Marco Manufacturing Company, and they wanted me to stay there, and I just couldn't because I had family in Sacramento. So I moved home where my mother was, and then that's when I met my son's father, my middle child's father. You know, but everything in life has to do with circumstances, and it's just real. And I don't have no shame in my game. That didn't work out. I got married and was divorced within 7 years. I hate that I didn't stay for the full 10. And then I would have had some benefits. But promise you, was the universe kind to him? Hell no. It was my ex-husband who actually passed first. Yeah, because he married somebody who was 38 years old. His son's 2 years older than his son or some shit like that. And the universe was not kind to him. He wasn't doing what he should have been doing anyway. He had 2 children, and he just didn't do right by them. And he broke his neck. Well, how unfortunate that that neck breaking happened. Because, he was married to somebody who was 38 that just whatever. Is it smart, or is it just a level of intelligence? Smart, I know you can make me a moderator. Well, you have to do something. You go up here. It's not a poll, and it's not there. Retouch this on. I don't want that. Where is that one? Oh. I'm gonna find it. Oh. You're my top fan, and so what does it say? It says you're my top fan. It doesn't show you that. Hey, excuse me. I'm still looking. How do you make people moderators in the room with the settings over here? You don't know? Oh, it says community moderators on. Okay. I think it's the way that I have it set up, because anybody could be the moderator. I think that's what it says. So, anyways, I was going back to share my life with you. But, my ex-husband was the one that passed first. He had a stroke, and then he was like incapacitated, meaning he couldn't walk. And so his wife, she was 38, and she put him down in the living room area where the dining room was. My son told me that's where his bed was. And she would bring her entertainment upstairs, and she had all kind of men coming in, and she was in the military. Yeah, that was my son, and she had all kind of men coming in, and she was partying with them. My ex would get on Facebook and beg for his son to come and stay with him and help him with the woman. And my son said no, he wasn't going to do his life like that. And so that's my oldest one, but I have three more. I have a 27-year-old who I'm pushing to accept, his own gifts, because he has to know who he is and he has to know where he is. And he's in a cybersecurity class online, and he just needs to know what he's doing. And then my middle child, well, he works every day. He works at the Pass Casino. Yeah. And he also helps me around the house. And he helps me with my son. So I have a disability. I have, what is it called? Rheumatoid arthritis. And I have been, misdiagnosed. I'm looking for a workers' comp attorney that takes a class. A case would be from 1994, but I have everything. And because I only had one treating provider, which was Kaiser, and they're the ones that did my diagnosis, well, they're the ones I'm going after. And because they are a not-for-profit organization, and I'm just going to deal with them like I know who they are right now. I try to make you a moderator. When I go in here, government shut down. Oh, they're going to shut the government. If they can shut the government down, this time, believe me, they are going to do it. Of course they would do it. It said anybody could be. And it said community defaults. And it says community defaults because it's, this is not like Podbean. On Podbean, I could have a moderator. On Podbean, I could have people that just call in and anybody can talk. And I like Podbean because it's $7 a month. But, I do have Opus, and that's OPUS. And so when I take these talks and what you got on? Oh, I have a shirt on. It's a shirt. And jeans. That's what I have on, blue jeans. It's hard not to do. Because this is the app. And it doesn't give you all those settings. And it really doesn't. You just have the camera, the green screen, and they have this sunshine ball. You can make it, touch it up. And it's got this olive peanut butter sandwiches thing. Yeah. And that's what it does.
You saw that video I sent you last night?
Which one?
In the text message.
And a text message.
I texted it to you.
What was it about?
About this movie.
About the parasites?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. I know about the parasites. Why do you think I understand about the parasites? Let me check out what you got on. What does people want to know? Chris, come on around here. Come over here and stand with me for a second. This is my son. This is my live. I want you to talk about your book. Oh, he don't want to talk about his book. What can you talk about? What can you talk about?
What can I talk about?
Huh?
What do you mean, what can I talk about?
You can talk about anything. Come take over my life for a second. I'm good. No, people were just more interested in what I got on. But,
Yeah, what's up?
yeah, it's just a conversation. Are you going to come? And no?
No.
Why people are not. Yeah. See? Jeans. There we go. Not fat at all. It'd be different if I was obese, but I'm not obese. And I got on my dollar shirt from the Goodwill. That's what I got on. And that's real. I like shopping at the Goodwill. On Mondays, dollar day. And on Wednesdays, 40% off day. And I buy my shit from the Goodwill. Hell, my fan, $1. And I needed it. But you ain't gonna find no fan in a regular store or whatever. And then we just have to know that this is 2025. And most people choose not to engage in the oversight portion. But we all work and pay taxes. We're all putting into this thing that we call health care. And now you're seeing how they play the game. And the game is the game. And the game doesn't wait. But then when you understand that it is our people that are paying those taxes, and we really are. As African Americans, we have this thing called gifts. And, we have Snoop Dogg, and we have Prince, and we had Michael. But all those African American people were paying huge money in taxes. And they just were. And the taxation system, taxation with no representation, are you serious? And thank you for the compliments on my smile. It is a paid-for smile. I did have beautiful teeth, and I want to tell you, I went to the dentist, Western Dental in Sacramento. I've got to tell you, don't go. The bitch scraped my teeth, and within 2 years, they started to decay at the gum line, all the way at the top. And so then they had to pull all my top teeth out, and that's what they did. But who are you going to tell when you get fucked over by the system? And that's the problem. There is no one to tell, because in America, there's just you. And unless you can get a few of your people together and organize, Shaq is out. But look, Shaq is pushing for the printers, those Epson printers with the refillable ink. And, here, everything that goes in the cloud, it goes in the cloud before it comes out your printer. And that's just real. And then they was controlling what you could print and who you could print and what could print and what device. And I'm saying, fuck this shit. I know how to install a damn printer. And why couldn't I install my printer? And why is it that nobody could print in my house? And I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired. Everybody got getting paid. That was a big boy. And his mama got him a position playing basketball. And since we seem to buy into the entertainment category, it's about entertainment anyway, isn't it? We understand the house and field mentality, or don't you? Because they put people in positions with no knowledge. And as they have no knowledge, anybody who has a little bit of knowledge, you keep on clawing up. Because you ain't going nowhere, because nobody wants to believe you. Hell, I have had people argue me down. Argue me down because they have a position, or they went to college, or they did something. I don't care. I'm living. And I've lived through life, and I suffered the consequences. I will always remember the boot coming to my face. And I remember having a husband, too. And I also knowing that I could choose not to, because after my son's father, my last son's father, who just recently passed, his name was Mark Dunn. And he had a father. His father's name was Billy Dunn. And he was a famous artist. But, my son never got to meet his grandpa. He never got to meet, he didn't even get to really spend time with his dad because his dad was a bitch. How unfortunate. He earned that name by himself. He chose to stay away from his son. And, life, liberty, and the pursuit of. I didn't never go after the child support because I had Social Security. And how did I get Social Security? Well, it's a long story, but I was working for Los Rios Community College District, and I was working in the mailroom, and they had me cutting the keys, they had me washing the vans, they had me doing. I was a jack of all trades, and the 100-pound mail sacks is what killed me. Besides, I couldn't hold the keys, and so the day that Chuck Spruce came over and fired me, because that's what he did. They had already had my test results from the amniocentesis because I was pregnant. It's that behavior that catches up with you. And it was what it was. But they let me go because I was being affected by the chemicals from the copying machines in the mailroom. And it was all one job, whatever. And I was doing the job. It wasn't that I couldn't do the job. But it was that when people come together and conspire to defraud you, then it just becomes a different kind of case. And because it gave me an open medical, they did. Well, you find me over there on Podbeam, Citizen Anderson, and you can be my moderator over there. Or TikTok. When I go to TikTok, they let you have moderators, but I don't think YouTube lets you have moderators. That's just real. Unless you're like a part of my YouTube channel or some shit. Yep. And so, anyways, life is interesting because it has to do with your journey. And we're all on a journey. And I realized that, when my mother was sick, she was just sick for a long time. And my mother was a beautiful woman. And she really was. She was a good looking woman. And she had her day. And my mother always had someone to care for her. My mother believed in having a man around her. And that's probably one of the reasons why I don't have to have a man. Because my mother always had to have one. But I did get to meet my father before he passed. And my stepfather and I were two cancers in a pod. I mean, two cancers just get along. And I don't even know what sign my father was. I'll have to look, but I think he was a Leo. I have his driver's license. It's one thing I do. And I have his death certificate, too. I should look at that. And I had a grandfather, too. And he was in a whole nother county in Mississippi. And I'm saying, when you can research and go back and look at that part, but it's the townships that won't tell you anything because you might have a relation or they might have left something behind that they have no intention for you to get. Yes, I have a moderator on other live, over 20 moderators on here. Good. Yeah, I believe that. I'm just saying that YouTube is different. Unless I could go in and start a show with someone and then you would be there. But I don't know a whole lot about the other tools that are here because I don't see them. And I just don't. I see the plus sign. And the plus sign says start a poll or start a question and answer. And then I see this other thing on the other side, chat filters, top messages, and community moderation. And the community moderation says live is on, live chat summary is on, participant mode says anyone, and the message delay is on, block words and community defaults, and that's all it says up in there. And I'm good because I believe that when people come and, and they're really not nice, you know what I'm saying? Because people could choose to be any way they want to be, and choice is everything. And I'm saying, but it only demonstrates who they are. So what can I say? Anybody can be an ass. And that's a personal choice. And that's just real. So here we are. And as we are living in 2025, and it's reckless to think that somebody else is going to care more than what we care. And you must understand this. When you're looking out your picture window, you don't necessarily see so many dark females. There are some out there, but they're not. And then the ones who are standing their own, they're just standing their own ground, and that's just real. So, know that I was in church at one time, and I realized it's not the box, because Jesus didn't have a box that he was preaching in. No, it's not about that. It's about the Spirit, and it's the Spirit within you, and you have to understand what it feels like. And you have to know right from wrong. And as long as you know right from wrong, what can I say? Because you're going to do the right thing when you have to do the right thing. Because it allows you to do the right thing. Life does. It's a choice. And when you know you're making the wrong choice, what can I say? Choices are everything. Chose to stop going to church because when I found out who was the top dog in the house, I had to go. That's real. Because the storehouse is not money. Your tithes and offering never comes from what you can wheel and deal. It's not about money. It's about service. And that's just real. So you can't give anything that you've never been given. And then we have to look at our families and just know this. So many black families are not families. And it used to be black men, they'd have 2 or 3 women. And they go through, 2 or 3 women's homes too. And then, from one, my papa was a Rolling Stone, wherever he laid his hat was at home. And that was a real song because it really happened. And because of the way the system was established, we have to know that the welfare system truly was. And, who was it? There was one about the Papa Rolling Stone. It makes a difference on the songs and who sang them. And Charlie Wilson and all those artists had something to say. But then we have to go back and look at our young people, the ones who made it. Like Tupac, they were in neighborhoods. They were just busting out. They were in hood territory. They had relations with each other. And then know that, when I was in Sacramento, when I was growing up, uh, the Kings, there was a band that used to practice across the field from where we lived. And then, they used to just go out and play in the garage. Want to do service for Jesus? I don't want you to go to hell. I'm not going to go to hell. There are a lot of wicked people in there, and it's just a perception of what service for Jesus really is, isn't it? Because it matters what you're able to give, and you can't give anything that you have not been given to give or to share. And I understand what sharing is all about, because sharing is caring and caring is empowerment. And if I can empower you to save yours, then you'll be doing the work that I'm doing too, and we'll be doing it together. I'm a soldier in the army of the Lord, and I've always been a soldier in the army of the Lord. And do I understand what that is? I do, truly I do. So, where are you going? You need my help with what? Yeah. With eBay what now?
When you get a chance, I need you to tell me, because I'm going to AutoZone.
Yeah.
Try to say my tail lights are out too, but the headlight is out. So I was driving last night and the headlight went out, so I knew they was going to try to pull me over.
Well, why don't you just go to AutoZone? They do it for you.
Oh, they do it for free?
Yeah, they do it for free. They'll tell you which fuses are not bad. Just go on over there and you pay for the fuse and they come out and do the testing. That's what life's about. You have to use the system that's upon us. What is GTA has a bad word? I don't know. What is GTA? Do you know an 8-foot monster is? No, I don't. No, I don't know anything about any of that. And because that's not where my life has been. It's just not been there. I have been doing work, and I have had the ability to participate on school site councils of all my sons. And I've always had the ability to participate in that level of public service. I served as the chair of the District Advisory Committee for Title I and Compensatory Services. I got to serve on the committee for special education and Head Start too. And I'm saying all these organizations and where people come together and talk about the measured outcomes and what's considered the maintenance of effort of the services that are being provided. And so people want to focus on, because they made some choices in their life and they got some mixed breed kids, but mixed breed kids, they are different and they have different perceptions, just like Colin Patrick, whatever. Yeah, that's why you don't want to. I'm not going to hell. Because if I was, then the Lord would be pushing me on this other kind of whatever. And every door has always been open for me. And so I know that I'm living right. The Bible was written as a guide to live by. And as long as you're following the 10 Commandments, I don't see a problem. And anything you need to know from the Word, you go pick up the good book and open it. I promise you will get your message too. But you can't get mine, and you can't sit in judgment of who I am. A lot of people would like to tell me about myself. I'm saying, boo, it doesn't work like that. I do have a car. I have a roof over my house. I have a retirement, and I have Social Security. And I've had Social Security for a long time. And now I have a retirement too. And God is good. And I don't have to worry about anything. I'm sitting at my leisure as I got to participate in the NAACP and there are just so many different kind of committees out there. And if you never leave your box to participate in anything, I suggest you do. Use this device that we're sitting in front of right now, because you have to be holding it. And then understand that, there are apps, YouTube, like here in Nevada Ledge. And then Nevada also has a Department of Education. And every state has a Department of Education, and they stream what they're doing to the community, because the world has just changed, And so now you can pay attention, and you need to pay attention, because every human being generates a certain financial benefit for the states. All of the 50 states have some kind of financial benefit. But then if you are an entertainer and you come here and you're making all that ticket money, you're going to pay your percentage to the federal government off the top. Before the state even gets any money, you're going to pay the federal time. I mean, it's a federal cut because the federal government just gets a cut in all the money, everything you do. It's just like black people, for whatever reason, I'm paying 28% on my loans, so my car loans. 28%. Now, they can advertise these loans every day on television. 3%. Who the fuck gets 3%? Black people don't get 3%. Well, then subscribe to me, and then I will go and find you. And I will try and make you my moderator, but I have to find you because you're on my YouTube channel. You're not on, I mean, YouTube is different. Yep. And so, I mean, I'm just watching as everything goes down and understanding the level of flexibility. And then seeing, like, they have Nevada Prep here. They have, oh, that's a real fly. I don't like that one. What happened to the little screen thing I had? I don't know what happened to it. But, no, here it is. This is a bug zapper. You turn it on. And then if the flies come around, you just zap them. So they're landing on stuff. And you don't want them to land on you. Because, you know, they say when flies fly around you, they leave a drop of shit on you. And they come back. And that's where they know how to get you. And I'm saying, oh no, I don't like flies. Flies landing and shit all the time. And they do. Thank you so much for the wonderful compliments. And I just got to tell you, this is 2025. And we all need to understand that it's our personal obligation. You didn't come here with no instructions. And you didn't. We didn't come with instructions. Hell, most of us didn't come with parents. And that's just real. And I did my best to try to raise my children around parents. But I got to tell you, my mother, she was awesome. She always had a man. So I didn't ever have to worry about anything because my mother always had a man. She had a husband too. And that's just the way it worked out. I had one too, but I'm sad that I didn't keep him for another couple of years because I could have stayed married to his ass for at least 3 more years and got my retirement too. I wasn't thinking. And that's just real. Didn't have to give him a divorce, but I forced that damn divorce. That's real. So it is what it is. Because our own behaviors will put us out there in jeopardy. If I had been thinking, I would have not gotten that divorce. But I didn't, and it doesn't matter because I have now another child, 27. 39, 27, and 41. And that's just the way it is. And I have been blessed because all my sons are beautiful. What is that? You know, I learned about life. You have to do anything to get funky. Well, I don't know. I would say I'll go here. Let me show you. And go to my screens. Okay. I don't know what I can see here. It doesn't. Let me see. This will let you see. You might be able to see my family. I can see if I can find them. Because life is awesome. And you just have to know that when you've made the choice, it's your choice, but then you're moving in a direction, and that direction is limited based on what? Based on your choices and which way are you going. And life is about which way are you going? Which way did you go? And that's just real, because you're going to be wherever you chose to be in life. And choice is everything. This is my son. That's one. Then I go back over that way. And then, where's the done button? Okay, done. But it didn't let you see them, because I picked one, but it didn't show you. It didn't show it. It doesn't really show it. Yep. It doesn't show you. I'm just gonna go no. And otherwise I could, go up. But if you go to my Facebook, Darlene Anderson, Darlene Anderson. And my phone number's on my Facebook page. You can call me. We can talk. But you have to do that, whatever. That's why you have to take a bath every day. You learn about life, do anything. Oh, look, I take care of myself. You see my skin is taken care of. So is my hair. And that's just real. It's almost 5 o'clock. That's just real. I think I need to check something. I'll be right back. Well, it's about time for me to go. I have work to do. So, thank you all for coming. That's what I'll say. And please follow my podcast. It's Parent Empowerment Half an Hour on Spotify. Parent Empowerment Half an Hour on Spotify. Or Citizen Anderson over there on Podbean. And I'm saying, until you know, you just don't know. But life is about what you know. So you have a blessed day. You're funny. Thank you, and have a blessed day.